I can't even express how much fun it is for me every day to have people come into the place that I work, and it's so much fun to teach them about the history of the area. My name is Colleen Palumbo, and I am the curator of the Golden Museum. So before the settlers arrived, before Canadian Pacific Railway brought those first settlers into Golden, this area here at the confluence of the Kicking Horse and Columbia Rivers was really just a really large floodplain. It was a great place to set up a temporary home for an Indigenous person or an encampment. It allowed them to fish in the rivers. The people that moved with the railway were kind of maybe on the outer fringes of what was socially acceptable at the time. There was a lot of saloons and ladies of the evening. Things were not very well built because they didn't anticipate that they would stay. When a group led by a fellow named Mike Carlin was encamped at a place, I guess it would be near Lake Louise, and the encampment looked like it was going to be a bit more permanent in nature. And Mike Carlin decided that he would change the name of his camp from Carlin's Camp to Silver City. And when word reached Golden, there was a little bit of a conversation in one of the rickety old thrown together buildings here in town between Baptiste Morgeau, who was a Métis, our first merchant in Golden, and a Métis man, and Mr. Aylmer, who was a surveyor for the Canadian Pacific Railway. And Baptiste said, "I don't think that we should be outdone by the likes of Mike Carlin. I think we should change the name of our town to reflect the fact that gold is worth more than silver. So we'll call it Golden City." You would be surprised to learn that Golden, BC is home to the first Sikh temple in North America. And that might be the single most surprising thing for people to learn. We talk about the Swiss guides. They introduce people really to the sport of skiing and mountain climbing, and we certainly have appreciated not only the guides themselves in Golden, but also the families that they still have in the community today. It's hard to imagine people would pay you to do something you love as much as I love this, but those little maybe unknown stories, or maybe sometimes it's just a little tidbit of information that causes them to pause and take more interest in the surroundings and in the community, because once they do, they will fall in love with it in the same way.